Welcome to the Writing Moment. This is a practical guide to creating poems and noticing your own life much more closely through language. It's for anyone who's ever thought, hey, I'm not a poet, but I still feel something stirring when a song lyric hits too hard, or a memory comes back so sharply that it almost hurts. Poems are not just made up of big words, they're made up of small details: a hospital hallway smell, a voicemail you never deleted, the way that someone once said your name and meant it. So let's dive in. What you really need to write a poem is pretty simple. To write a poem, you don't need a degree, you don't need the perfect metaphor, a bookshelf full of classic books. You need three things: a moment that matters, a feeling in your body, and a little bit of attention. And you got to start with just one detail, and you ask yourself, what is the smallest thing that I can describe from this day? It might be the sound of rain against the window, or the way your chest tightened when you read that message. Maybe it's the color of the sky at the bus stop. Just write one sentence about it. Then ask that sentence a question. What else does this remind me of? Where does this feeling live in my body? What am I afraid to say about this? And your answers are going to be the beginning of what you will call your poem. Now, how can poetry save a life? Poetry, it's always been where regular language breaks down. At funerals and love letters and the quiet lines of a therapist's notebook, poetry steps in when ordinary sentences are not enough. Writing about the pain does not erase it, but it does change its shape. So when you turn emotion into words, your brain starts to organize what once felt like chaos. You move from I am overwhelmed to this is what overwhelmed looks like, sounds like, tastes like. If you do research in expressive and creative writing, you'll find that putting feelings into language can help people process grief, trauma, anxiety, and the things of life. The page becomes a safe container, a small place where the storm can live without destroying everything around it. And sometimes a poem keeps someone alive, not because it solves their problems, but because it gives them one small thing to do with their pain. It proves that their story is real enough to be written down, and it offers a future version of themselves, something to look back and say, man, I made it through that. So let's try a simple exercise. If you want to try right now, grab a notebook or open a blank document. Choose a tiny detail from your week, a smell from a specific room, the sound of someone's shoes in a hallway, that blue light that comes from your phone in the dark. Write just one line that describes that detail as clearly as you can. And then step 2, add 4 more lines. Each line can start with, I remember, it felt like, or I wanted to, for example. Don't worry about rhyme or rhythm. Let the lines be crooked, awkward, unfinished. Your only job here is to be honest. In the third step, you might want to end the poem with either a question or an image. I kind of tend to go for the punch in the nose effect myself. But a question might be something like, what would I say if I could go back? Or an image might be the cup still on the counter collecting dust. This is your poem. It might be rough, it might be raw, it might be strange, and that's good. That means it is alive. We've got grief and memory and celebration. Poetry is not only for grief, but it's also for remembering and celebrating. You can write a poem for the person you just lost and the way that they laughed at their own jokes, or for the friend who answered your message at 3 a.m., or for the version of yourself who has survived the day that you thought you would not. And when you write about a memory, you're saying this mattered. When you write about joy, you're giving your future self something to return to when life feels colorless again. Poetry becomes an archive of your life's most fragile moments, preserved in a form that you can revisit, reshape, and share. This is an invitation. It's an invitation for you to begin. You don't need permission to write a poem. You don't need to show it to anyone. You just simply need to notice, to feel, and to give yourself just a few quiet minutes with your own voice. If you're listening to this and you're carrying something heavy, consider this your invitation. Write one line tonight, not some masterpiece, just a line that tells the truth about this exact moment of your life. Words will not fix everything, but they can give you a way to stay with yourself when it would be easier to just disappear. And sometimes that small act is what keeps a heart beating one day. Thanks for tuning in with us today. We hope you'll hang out. If there's anything that you'd like to comment about, please take the time and share this if it was resonated with you. Subscribe, like, share, all that stuff. Thanks for coming by.
Look at this. Oh, perfect. Oh my God. Isn't it great? Chris. I know, it's my dream.